Hello friend, welcome back to Auto Resource YouTube channel. I've got here 1998 Nissan Pathfinder. It's a two-wheel drive, that simple one, right? Single cab with that small 4-cylinder engine, 2.4 liter. And let's see how easy it is to perform engine oil change. Should be very easy to work on it, right? There's a lot of space underneath the hood. It's a small 4-cylinder. So basically I'm cracking open this filler cap, right? I will leave it just sitting there and I can slightly pull the engine oil dipstick. After that, I will start lifting the vehicle. And that will give me perfect access to that engine oil pan drain bolt, which is right here, right? So it's a basically oil pan on passenger side, and also oil filter, which is hiding up there, also on passenger side of the engine. I brought here my oil catching pan. That drain plug bolt is a 14mm socket, so I'm ready to loosen it up. Alright, start removing it. Pay attention if there is any washer around that bolt, and I will start catching that oil. Nice. You can see the oil coming out, right? See and hear. Here is how dark it is. And in this stage I will let it drip as long as possible to obviously get most of the oil out of the engine. When it stops dripping, I'm ready to put that drain plug back, preferably with the new gasket. You see this one is copper one. I'm using smaller ratchet this time because that will help me to tighten it nicely, right, to make it tight. But I have a feel in it and I will not strip the thread in that oil pan. And now we have one more item to deal with, and that's the engine oil filter. You can see it hiding right there. This is again, as I said, passenger side of the engine. I'm hoping I can remove it by using hand, because they should be always just hand tight. I've slightly repositioned that oil catching pan right underneath this area, and look, I'm lucky. The previous technician didn't over tight it, so I will lose it only like 3 turns and it will start dripping the oil in the pan, and I will be removing it later when it stops dripping. This one didn't drip much of oil, so I can continue fairly soon after releasing it. I'm just unscrewing it and bringing it down. This one is really small baby. It's amazing how tiny it is. I will show you that area without that filter. You can see it hopefully. That's that mount, right? I will go ahead right now and clean it and install that new filter. Here is the new oil filter. I'm ready to install it. I slightly lubricated this O-ring, right, that it can get seated better. And as I already mentioned, I will not use any oil wrenches. This is all just done by the hand. Right, there's relatively good access. I need to tighten it really nice and tight. So I was able to remove that drip pan away, right? You can finally see the good light how the oil was burned and dirty. Definitely was time to replace it. So that means I'm ready to lower the truck and start filling up engine with the new oil. The manual tells me that this engine takes 3.8 quarts of the engine oil, and the preferred engine oil is 10W30. So I will definitely clean this plug, which is very dirty. I will also carefully clean around this filler, right? I don't want to throw that dirt inside. I just want to remove it away. I always like to use funnel to minimize the spills, and I will start carefully pouring my 10W30 oil. Now manual says 3.8 quarts. So I will put slightly over 3 quarts. Then I will use the dipstick to see how much is inside of the engine. I believe I poured approximately 3.3 quarts. So let's use the dipstick, right, to see how much is in the oil pan. I'm wiping the dipstick clean, right, that it's dry. And I will be reinserting it all the way in the dipstick tube. That's going to happen right now, as I said, all the way, and let's see together how much is on the dipstick. And it's so clear, you can barely see it, but it's floating right there, and it's touching that H as a high. In this moment, I know I have enough of the engine oil, right? I measured all of it on nice level ground. The vehicle is perfectly level, so I can close all of this, and I will go and start the motor and let it run for approximately 1 minute. When I'm going to start it right now, I will closely observe that oil pressure light. When you start it up, it needs to go away really quickly. It's down here, right? So let's see if it disappears within a second. Alright, that was very quick. Approximately 1.5 seconds. We know there is enough pressure in the engine. Of course, I don't stop here. I will just run outside always, right? Because you want to check for possible leaks. So you really look really quickly up here. Everything is fine. You are also checking underneath the vehicle in the case there is some leak. And as I said, I will let that engine run for approximately 1 minute. Then I will shut it off. And after 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes of waiting, right, I'm able to take the final measurement, and I will see if I had to add any oil, right? If yes, I will add it the same way. Alright, so this time it's a little bit lower as usually. It needs a couple of millimeters up, so I will add a little bit more through here. I always like to have it perfectly on that full mark. And this is how I perform the engine oil change on this Nissan pickup truck. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumb up, and please make sure you are subscribed, because I have way more videos coming your way on this channel very soon. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day, my friend.